Welcome back. Well, we have Dr. Brian Huang here, who is with MemorialCare Saddleback Medical Center, and he's been here with us for just a few months. Well, welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
So they had you come on over because they wanted us to introduce you to our community. So welcome, first of all. And what is your specialty?
So I'm a neurosurgeon, and I'm a doctor who specializes in the nerves and the brain and the spinal cord and the structures that support those structures.
Okay.
I work with neurologists who mainly focus on the software of the nerves and the spine and the brain, and we focus more on the hardware. And so I perform surgeries. That's the difference between neurologists and neurosurgeons.
Okay, but you would first see a neurologist, and then they would decide what the situation was, and then once they have done that, then they go see you. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. And we also share patients with physical therapists as well as primary care physicians, because anyone who has any headaches, back pain, or arm and leg pain can potentially come see a neurosurgeon.
Okay, all right, got it. Let's talk about your history. Where are you from? I'm
from the East Coast. Everyone told me weather's much better there, so I stuck around for most of my life there.
You're kidding, right?
and then I came here a few months ago. I realized I've been lied to the whole time.
Yeah, right, that's right. So where did you do your studying?
So I did most of my training in Baltimore, in Johns Hopkins. Medical school in Columbia in New York City, and then I did my neurosurgical training again at Johns Hopkins, and then I finished my advanced training, also called fellowships, in complex spine surgery, robotic spine surgery, as well as functional and pain neurosurgery.
Wow, and that was a period of what, about 10, 12
I stopped
years?
Counting. It just makes it easier that way.
Yes, just
but decades. The whole process takes about 15 to 17 years.
Wow, it's quite a dedication. Now, you also mentioned that off camera you were with the Green Beret?
Yes. So it's been a passion of mine to serve country in a different capacity. And so actually during residency, which is a neurosurgery training in Baltimore, I decided to take 5 years off and go active duty, and not as a medical officer, as a grunt actually, and served as a combat role as a Green Beret Special Forces combat medic.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy that you just sort of, I mean, was it good in a way? I mean, obviously you got different kinds of experiences and training. Does it help you today by doing that? 100%.
So it gave me a sense of passion to serve the community. I also understood how lucky we are as Americans to have all this amazing healthcare available to us. I was able to travel to different parts of the world where people don't have access to even the most basic medical care. Also, while in service, I did suffer a combat injury requiring 2 major surgeries, and that taught me a lot about what it's like to be a patient going through a healthcare system, the anxiety, the unknown unknowns, and all the terrifying experiences. So I try to incorporate it into my daily practice and also how I interact with people in and out of the hospital.
That's great. I mean, we have a lot of veterans here that I'm sure can identify with some of the things that you're talking about. Now, you also speak different languages.
I do. So I did spend about 12 years of my life in South Korea. So my background is Korea. And when I was 5, my family decided to move back to South Korea. And so I spent my youth there. And also my wife happens to speak Korean. We speak Korean at home. So I'm very comfortable with the language.
Okay, great. Now, I guess I always ask the questions to all doctors, what sort of inspired you to go down the path that you go down? So you became a neurosurgeon. So what led you to that?
It's a long road and a lot of unexpected turns and really a lot of luck and good mentorship along the way. I wanted to be an artist growing up, and I love using my hands. At some point in my life, I wanted to become an engineer, wanted to be a carpenter. But during college, as an art major, I had an opportunity to volunteer at a local hospital, and that's where I learned the joy of helping people using science. And so then I changed my course and then became a neurosurgeon over time. It's the only field in my mind where there's an excitement of helping people with complex problems. There's a lot of innovation in this space.
Right.
This is where the bioinformatics, the advanced technology, the nanotechnology, even computational science, all are coming together to bring about better outcome for people. So that's what I discovered about neurosurgery and decided to pursue and dedicate my life.
Yeah, sometimes you have a class and there could be one class or one instructor and you're like, oh, this is totally what I want to do, right? I mean, you came across probably
That's
many
right.
different types of people like that.
That's right.
So you mentioned technology. There's a lot of new technology that's been happening over the last several years. Give me an example of something new that you would be using.
Yes, so traditionally, when someone has neck or back pain or even arm and leg pain from different reasons, such as injury to the neck or injury to the nerves or even long-standing diabetes, there wasn't a lot of treatment for them. And medication can only do so much, and there are people who can't find satisfactory relief of their agonizing pain. And for the longest time, neurosurgeons did get involved, but the procedures that we offered happened to be very morbid, including potentially cutting the nerves and causing permanent deficits.
Yeah.
But now, since the 1960s, a lot of smart people were able to help create novel technologies such as neuromodulation, spinal cord stimulators, peripheral nerve stimulators, using electricity to really modulate and affect the nervous system, ultimately bringing about very meaningful and durable pain relief. And so
something you implant, or is it something that attaches, or how does it work?
that's right. So it ultimately is an implantable device in a lot of the situations. But the wonderful thing about this technology is that it can be individualized. And so everyone's pain's different, everyone's cause of the pain's different, and these technologies can adapt to target the cause of the issue, and also it can be reversed. A lot of surgeries that neurosurgeons do are really permanent. However, the neuromodulation technology is really built such that if it doesn't work, then it can be completely removed in a very safe manner.
Right, so you can test it first, which is great. And then what if something happens where you put it in the lower back and it happens to now be showing up someplace else? Can you use multiple in a body, or would you only use one?
You can use potentially multiple.
Wow.
And this technology is always evolving. There's a lot of interest because it came a long way since the 1960s, and now there's a lot of different devices for different types of conditions.
What causes nerve damage?
Life,
Everything.
accidents, everything. There's a lot of causes, and initially people thought that it was a direct injury to nerves, spinal cord, and the brain, but people realized that even psychiatric conditions can cause chronic pain, or even metabolic disorders like diabetes, or heart conditions, or peripheral vascular disease can injure nerves and cause really excruciating, long-standing pain. And now we're realizing that using technologies, we can sort of control or calm down the nerves and really bring about outcome that we weren't able to deliver for the longest time.
That's great, because I know so many people want to get off much of the medication that they take, especially for chronic pain. So
that's right.
Great information. Welcome to Saddleback, and it's nice to meet you.
I'm super excited to be here. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. If you want more information about Dr. Brian Huang, you can always go to the website, which is memorialcare.org/Saddleback. We'll be right back.